Happy Groundhog Day and happy Stained Glass Sunday from the 1870 studio. I'm Priscilla and I'm going to be working on Mermaid Window. Feels like I've been working on this Mermaid Window forever because I have been. And I'm going to flip you around here. You can see that I do love mermaids. I have always considered myself a mermaid. And there I am in Scotland, not being a mermaid. There's Morton in Scotland. Anyway, this is what we're working on. It is a mermaid window that's going to hang in the tiki room. It is in Tiffany style fused glass. Tiffany style means you take copper foil, you wrap it around the glass pieces, you solder them together, and it's typically how you make the windows that are that I've made here in the church have all been Tiffany style. This particular window is going to go right in this arch down below to hide an ugly porch roof that's out there. And Morton's down in the kitchen. Morton is making sourdough rolls for our visit tomorrow. I'm going to pop you here, hop in here, and then let's get started. I don't think we'll finish this today. I'm ever hopeful that we will, but I don't think we will today, because this is a big window. And this, I wanna first start by saying stained glass is something absolutely everybody can do it. Everybody can do stained glass. Everybody can do stained glass. Now, there are, like, I design and do my own patterns. There are, like, these are windows that I've done in the past, some patterns from there. So you can use patterns or you cannot use patterns. It doesn't matter. This is most definitely not a pattern, and it's a lot of fun. There's some basic tools. I have the tools up on our website, the1870studio.com. I have a link on there for an Amazon storefront that you do not have to buy anything from me. Just go there and see what you want to get, what I recommend, what the good stuff is. And how are you? Happy Sunday. Happy Groundhog Day. Does anybody know if the groundhog saw his shadow? And more importantly, when's spring coming? Do we know this? Do we know this? Spring, where are you, spring? So I'm doing some things here. I have my apron on. This is my, what year is this? 25. This is my 24-year-old apron. And I love it. It's what I always do my stained glass in. 6 more weeks of winter. That's probably right. Although we typically can get some warmer days in February. So, oh, that little naughty groundhog. Oh, why did he have to do that to us? Okay, I just plugged my soldering iron in because I mean business today. The soldering iron I use is a Heiko 601. They're not really expensive. You can see that little light is on, which means it's heating up. I'm going to show you how to clean the tip in just a minute. But before we do that, what do we gotta do? I gotta slide these comments over so I can see them. And feel free to ask questions. This is an asking question, participation if you wanna kind of thing. So I'm gonna take this, turn this out of my way, and I'm gonna put water here on our sponge. Hydrate that sponge. Hey Tracy, good morning, good morning. How is everybody doing today? So you're gonna wanna practice good safety measures when you do this. Glass is sharp. I'm going to be cutting glass, so I'm going to be soldering. So I'm going to put my safety glasses on, and you want to do this stuff, please. I don't ever want you to do something that you could get hurt with. Getting snow tonight in Connecticut. Oh, you keep it. Keep the snow. We're going out to Western Pennsylvania tomorrow, and I do not want any snow. It was cold last night here. It was in the teens. Okay, so you're going to want to wear safety goggles, which I just put on. Gloves, which I'm putting on. Actually, I shouldn't put them on because I got to put on copper foil. The one thing I don't wear gloves for is to put on copper foil. So this is my copper foil. It comes in different widths. I'm going to use the thick stuff, and I'm going to use this color of glass just now. Tomorrow we're going on a field trip to the factory. I'm taking you with me, and we're going to go to the Yakagini glass factory where this is made. And Morton and I are going to buy some glass. So these, let's see, let's set a goal of 3. Let's get 3 pieces in place. Let's not rush ourselves. Let's take the time. So copper foil, this is tape, copper tape. Don't touch the back. It has adhesive on it. You don't want to make it weak. And I just cut my glass. I don't grind it. If you want to grind yours, you grind yours. I have 4 or 5 grinders, and I typically don't ever grind my glass. My students use it when I do workshops. So yeah. Hey Carter, thanks for the number 3 gifter badge you got. And thanks everybody for giving gifts. It used to show us who's given gifts, and it doesn't really do it now. TikTok has changed. TikTok has changed parts of it. Have you ever made your own glass, not Vitrograph, like pool glass from sand? James, I have never done that. I'd like to. I think that would be super cool. There's a real sharp shard there, so you gotta be careful. That's one of the bad parts about not grinding glass. But because this window isn't a joining up window, doesn't have to join together, I'm not bothered. I just want to not get poked. Change is a good thing, yeah. Change is inevitable. Change always happens. People that say they don't like things to change, they're silly, because things always change. So you put this on, and then you take and burnish the edges. This is a tool. This is one of the first tools that I bought. It used to be maybe about a ½ an inch longer, and I have whittled it away. It's just wood. Aloha, Kahela, how are you? I'm just rubbing down. Burnishing just means rubbing it down and smoothing out all the wrinkles. Look at that. You can just smooth out all the wrinkles. And this is going to give you a better look when you put your solder on. And it's going to make this stuff stick tighter, because basically you're turning this is going to be what your solder will stick to. Solder will not stick to glass. It won't stick to the glass, which is why we put copper foil on it or lead came around it. I used to have a piece of lead came laying here to show you. I don't know where it went to. And I just had this. We're changing our studio all around. I might move my glass work. I might move this part back into the studio. Don't tell Morton. I don't know where I'm going to put it, but I might put my stained glass desk back there. And this area where I'm sitting under this window, which I do love the stained glass here, but I might end up putting my my snuggle nest here, maybe. I don't know. I'm in flux right now. Do I ever make mirrors? Do you believe in myths or conspiracies, James? I believe in mermaids. And myths and conspiracies are typically related to politics and religion, which I consider an absolute taboo no-no in my life. I'm into love and happiness and fairies and mermaids. That's what I'm into. Love, happiness, fairies, mermaids, hedgehogs. That's what I'm all about. That's where it's at. Yeah. That's what makes my world go round. I take the tape and I put it on each edge or I try to even it up, half and half on each side. And thanks for following. Something was up with TikTok and we were not getting any new followers, and now we are. I'm giving away 3 fused glass mermaids once we hit 200,000 followers. So, yeah. I'll make a TikTok when that happens. You comment on it, and then we'll randomly pick out 3 winners. I woke up early, excited. We got a lot. I have friends coming over today. I'm excited about that. What else am I excited about? I woke up. I'm most excited about that. It's Groundhog's Day. A year ago today, I arrived at this beautiful chateau in France, spent a month there with the most amazing people, wrote and illustrated a book. And thank you for the Groundhog Day, Nardia. The book is called Spring Fairies. It's available on Amazon, and it's on my website too. Groundhog says early spring. Other people said more winter. Either way, we're going to get what we get, right? Either way, we will get what we get. No, the girls are here for a month. They're here till the middle of February, but right now they're in Washington, D.C., and we just haven't been showing them a lot on here and doing stuff a lot on here with them because of the troll factor. Hello in Western Australia. I just wished a friend of mine from the chateau, who's from Australia, a happy birthday. He was my neighbor in the chateau, actually. A lovely man named Luca. He's a writer. He's a really good writer. Very talented man. Yeah, well, I basically get trolled and it spills out over to people. So I'm making a mermaid window. And this is a technique called Tiffany style glass. Whenever you see people say they have a Tiffany lamp for sale and it's $100, it's not a Tiffany lamp, it's a Tiffany style lamp. A Tiffany lamp would be $50,000 or more. And fun fact, Louis Comfort Tiffany, never ever made a stained glass window. He did designs. Okay, so this foil technique, one of his lovely ladies in his studio invented it. She invented it. Guess whose name is on it? She invented it, and guess who claimed it? Tiffany did. Because that's how things worked. That's how things kind of still work, too. I'm going to decide what part I want up. And now the fun part of doing your own pattern, you can go wild here. We're going to go wild here. We're going to make this swirl up here. We're going to make that piece swirl up there. That's going to look good. And Morton's not reading because Morton is busy in the kitchen. He's making up sourdough bread, sourdough rolls, sweet rolls. Tomorrow we're going on a field trip to Youghiogheny Glass out in western Pennsylvania, Connellsville. And Morton's going to take a whole batch of yummy stuff out there to give away to friends and family. Morton loves baking. He really, really loves baking. We'll probably have a late night bread baking session tonight. He's got a late start this morning, so we're going to be leaving at 4 in the morning, I think, tomorrow. And Morton will be probably up all night. And I'll drive and then he'll sleep on the way out there. Youghiogheny Glass is about 4 hours in the car, but till you stop and stretch and bathroom and gas and all that good stuff. I want to be there when they open at 9 a.m. I want to give a tour, get in and out, get our glass, go to my uncle's, see him. If my aunt's not there, go to her house, see her. When you guys? Wednesday. The girls come back on Wednesday. I said to him, if there's another snowstorm, we're definitely not getting a room. We're just going to drive. Be warned. Stay in Philly a day longer if there's snow coming. Oh dear trolls. Oh dear trolls, what the heck is wrong with you? What gas are you going to get? Wait, you mean for driving? Where do we get gas? We like to get it at Sheetz is cheap. Or what glass do you mean? Glass we're going to get I was thinking that's weird. Yeah, glass we're getting the Yakagini glass, their System 96 glass, the fusible stuff. I'm switching the studio all my glass that's in here is going to be fusible. Because right now, like, this is not fusible glass. This is stained glass. They made this. They make this as well. Well, they don't make this pattern, unfortunately, in their fusible glass. But the fusible glass has all the same COE, which is coefficient of expansion. So I want to switch the studio to having nothing but that. That way when I do workshops, because people inevitably, my workshops are a lot smaller now. My workshops before COVID would be like 40 people deep sometimes. My sheets that aren't fusible, I'm going to continue to make windows with for here, because I got a lot of windows still to make here. I'll probably have to buy more, but I'm going to keep it well separated from my fusible glass. So I'm excited. Hey, boo-boo. Stained glass is one of the easiest crafts you can do. It's super easy. I'm going to show you in a second how to cut glass. And a lot of times, this stained glass, you don't have to worry if this is going to stay together in the kiln. So you can pick this stuff up. Like, I buy mine new, but you can pick this stuff up cheap or free all around the place. Fusible means the two pieces of glass, you take them, you stick them together, you put them in a glass kiln and melt them at like 1400 degrees, and they stay together forever and ever. So yeah, but definitely you can do stained glass. It's easy, fun, and back before I had like space in a studio, when I learned how to do this in Scotland, and Morton had a little house. His house was little, and one of the bedroom, there were two bedrooms. One, they were both little, but in the one, I turned it into my stained glass room, and I kept everything like on my 2x2 board with a Rubbermaid tub with my supplies in it. Yeah, in the kiln you use no solder. Which solder? Before the pandemic, this solder was $10 a spool. After the pandemic, this solder went to $25 a spool. $25 a spool. With no explanation. And the price just hasn't came down. So yeah, but you can find it. You can look on Marketplace, look on Facebook Marketplace, on Craigslist. You can find people getting rid of their stained glass. Seriously, like, come and pick it up for free. You know, my granny passed, my uncle passed, my whoever passed, and they had all this stained glass. And yeah, so look for deals. Look for deals. Yeah, I'm getting ready to buy this. I got to spend $3,000 to buy it. It's the cheapest buy-in you can get, but I can get it for $9 a roll. But I got to spend $3,000 to do it. So, but I got a lot of windows still to do, so it's going to happen. But yeah, stained glass is super fun. It used to be a lot cheaper. Since the pandemic, I think everything has just, the prices have gone crazy with no explanation, and then they just stayed crazy because companies are making more money. And, companies are into making more money. That's what they do. More, more, more. More, more, more. Greed, 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 greed. Oh. Don't feel that. Just do free form. When people come in here and do a workshop, I always encourage them, please don't use a pattern. Pattern will break your heart. If you don't cut it right, you get sad. Patterns will break your heart. You want to just have fun. And like a lot of times if you're making a traditional stained glass window, let me show you here. This one's, nothing I do is traditional. Nothing I do is traditional. And I try to never use patterns, but like this piece here, see how all these joints go together. And this, you can't really see it, but this is a whole bunch of thistles. I wanted it to look like abstract thistles. That's what this one is. And this is going to be half of a shutter. I'm making shutters for here. I have to make the frame for it. So I'm going to have a pair of stained glass shutters on the bottom part of this window. But when you're doing patterns, like a pattern like this is a pattern that I've drawn and done. And when you're doing that, you got to get each little piece to fit in size. And boy, oh boy, that was huge. That window was 4 foot by 5 foot, I think. It was crazy. But each little piece you got to do, it's very intimidating. This was gorgeous. I want to make one of these for here. This was a Lily of the Valley one. Lily of the Valley window I did for a client in Scotland. But I found all my old patterns. But I like to draw and do my own patterns if I'm going to use them, because that way you're making things that nobody else has. And patterns, like I said, will break your heart. So just go crazy. Just go crazy. This one here, I might have made this mermaid in Scotland. Her shells are from Scotland. This was a broken golden snitch that I had made. Part of its wing, the golden snitch. Here's the other part. You can just, let your imagination go. Get creative. You can, if you're interested in getting into stained glass, a cool thing to do is these were broken picture frames. These were broken picture frames that I copper foiled and used to use them in workshops. And this was the person's first project, was just to pick a couple of these out and put them together and get that, because we get intimidated by things we don't know. And you can go way beyond glass sun catchers. My biggest piece that I ever made was a fountain that I want to say, it was a stained glass fountain. I think it was about 7 feet tall in Scotland. But this is my little moss house of stained glass from scraps, just little scrappy daps. I gotta hang it up somewhere. I like to have it here to show you as an example. But get glass beads from the Dollar Tree. Whatever. This is a piece of sea glass from Scotland. You can really get creative with it. Please don't get intimidated. Don't let it stop you thinking, oh, I can't do that. Here's the mermaid. She has green eyes. These shells we got on the beach in South Queensferry, Scotland. And she had a piece of sea glass on her. It's not there. I think part of her had broken off. She was in my broken stuff bin. But here's a piece of sea glass from Scotland, and here's a piece from Scotland. So I used to make Scottish mermaids. Like, I'm not joking when I exaggerate and say hundreds, if not thousands of them I have made. I wrote a book called The Legend of the Scottish Mermaid. Anyway, so step number 1 is cut the glass. Step number 2 is put the copper foil on it. And I'm going to take this little piece here to put in here to break up this color. So I'm just making little seaweed pieces, but just the important part is just have fun. And if you go take a stained glass workshop somewhere, you probably have a place close to you that has that they sell stained glass and they offer stained glass workshops. I encourage you to go check it out. That piece is gorgeous. This is Art Glass by Yakagani. I love it. Oh, and when you hold it up to the light, that's when stained glass really gets magical. It gets even more magical. In here in the morning, this morning, I had a hard time not waking Morton up to get him to look at the sun coming up through the window on the east side of the church. The windows were so glowing and beautiful, and the sky was pink and gold outside. It was like something out of a dream. But I didn't wake Morton up. He was snoring his little head off. I wake up early. Group by you that was giving away a church pipe piano. Wow. Yep. They really have a hard time even giving them away. That's crazy. Everybody's always like, that organ's worth money. I'm like, nah, it's not. To get it to work would cost about 35 grand, and that was before the pandemic. So now it probably costs 50,000. Yeah. It's like how many organs do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 organs here. Nobody wants them. Bobby, how are you? Happy Stained Glass Sunday. Join the Hanover group, and it could still be there. I don't want it. I have no room in here. I truthfully wouldn't want to bring another pipe organ in here, because this pipe organ was made for this church. I would feel like I was being a cheater. Getting information and video downloaded. Oh, I'm gonna miss you. I'll see you on YouTube. I was on YouTube before I did this. I was on YouTube for about an hour and a half this morning doing a live. Thanks, Dark Sky. We're good. Morton's back in the kitchen getting ready to bake. I play very badly. And this beautiful kind of glass here, let me show you by the light. When you hold it up to the light, look at that. Look at what shines through. Can we see? You're not getting notifications. Magic things happen when the light comes behind it. But I want to put this here, and I want to kind of almost do like a little Celtic knot effect with this seaweed. I want to do like the over, under, over effect. Aquamarine is your birthstone. That's cool. Let's take another piece of this. This piece is super cool. I love how it's kind of shaped like a bottle. I love that. You guys aren't getting notifications, Bobby or Sheila. Ugh. Yeah. Things have changed on TikTok. So many things have changed. I don't think it's going to stop either. I mean, I think I'm always going to do TikTok as long as it's here, as long as it doesn't get too weird. You're not getting them on YouTube now. That's weird. It's a mad world. But tomorrow we're going to have a field trip. I'm taking you with me. A year ago today, I was arriving at the chateau. I didn't have any of my friends made from the chateau yet. You know, meeting people, but just not, you know. Living with somebody for a month, you get to know them. You get to know them. Well, a bit, anyway. Okay, we're coming up to the end of this roll. I like to lap this over. Lap and squeeze. And here on the curve, see how you curve in? This, when you do this, this might tear. Maybe. It didn't on that one. Good. Sometimes it tears when you're doing like an indent that tight. Burnish the edges. I should have set an alarm for my halfway point. Can somebody please tell me what time it is on the East Coast? And I'm super sorry. My phone doesn't say the time. I do cut myself often with this glass. I have Band-Aids sitting everywhere. And I'm not joking. This is why I wear gloves. 11:30. Perfect. That's perfect timing. Perfect. Thank you, everyone. Okay, burnish this down and let's start to solder. Soldering, people get intimidated by it. You don't have to. You don't have to be intimidated by soldering. I'm going to take this piece. I'm going to move this piece over to here, to the edge. And I'm going to take this piece. This is the fun of not having a pattern. We can fit and choose as we choose. So this piece, let's come up here with this piece. And let's come up here, because this is going to be a whole lot of layers. A whole lot of layers. Actually, I'm going to take this piece here. No, that doesn't work. Let's move it around. Let's take this one. And let's move this one. Let's come up a little bit higher. This will work, because I do have another piece of this. And let's go like this out here. Yes, this will work. And then I have another piece of the green, this greenish one, that I can bring up to look like it's going underneath here. This one. We'll start that there. Oh, that's great. That's great. That is great. And I know I don't have enough tape left on here. I don't think I do. Maybe I do. Stained glass, I have always found working with stained glass super relaxing. And cutting glass is very therapeutic. And especially not following a pattern. There is no wrong way. There's no wrong way to cut the glass. And thanks for following. Thanks for hanging out on a Sunday. Thanks for tapping. There's 8,000 likes because you're awesome. Fold it over once you stick it down. And once you put the copper on, it's not as bitey then. So you just want to be careful, mindful. Thanks, this or that. The girls are in Washington, D.C. today. They're touring D.C., DC, Philly, and New Jersey, and they're coming home on Wednesday. They come back here on Wednesday. Wait, Jenny, what was the same thought? I'm not seeing all the comments. Oh. Hey, Brenda. I don't see Bayou's Brenda's comment. Weird. I'm sorry. I think TikTok doesn't show me all the comments. Like, it shows me some that get blocked out, but I think TikTok hides some comments from me, too. So this piece is pretty tall, and I like that. You're both asking the same question. Oh, about the girls. Gotcha. Yes, the girls are having fun. They're lovely. They're not on here as much as I was hoping would be, and it has nothing to do with the girls. It has to do with the trolls. Unfortunately, I attract trolls. And I don't care about trolls trolling me, but I just won't tolerate trolls attacking people that are here visiting. It's terrible. So the best thing is just keep them out of trolls' reach. I don't understand the troll culture. Don't get it. But it's not just one person being a troll. There's a heck of a lot of trolls out there. That's why we can't have nice things. Oh, that side needs exposed. There we go. Like this. So this, I'm going to come up here, and I'm going to kind of turn this a little bit more. I'm going to exaggerate this a little bit. Yep. Now we're going to start soldering. I'm very happy with this. We're going to start soldering. And I say soldering because I learned how to do this in Scotland. I get trolled about that too. I get trolled about the weirdest flipping things. I'm not quite sure why. Thanks, Kiki. And good morning, Angelia. How are you? My ring is from Shetland, Scotland. It's it's 22 years old almost. 22 years old. Okay, now we're going to solder. Now I'm going to take my gloves, put my gloves on, got my glasses on. Now the girls come back on Wednesday. So all of these pieces here, we got to flux them, we got to solder them. And this is the flux. The flux cleans the glass, gets the glass ready for the solder to go on. And I always put too much in here. It doesn't matter. You can pour it back in. And tomorrow, Morton and I are doing a really early morning road trip out to the western Pennsylvania. We're taking a 4-hour drive to go get glass, fusible glass from Yakagani. So I'm doing something that's really bad here that you shouldn't do. Don't set this on glass that you already have. I'm just doing it. It's not smart to do because you can break your glass or crack your glass. And I'm going to take these one at a time. Actually, I can put it over here. I do have a bit of room. Jenny needs some energy. You know what gets you energy? Get excited about something. Martin always asks me where I get my energy from, but I think I'm just excited about projects and doing stuff all the time. I get excitable. I'm just going to brush on the flux. And I have a fan sitting here beside me. Nope, I did, and Morton moved it. Dang him, that little devil. You want to do this in a well-ventilated area. You want to do it with an exhaust fan or some kind of a fan so you don't breathe fumes, because this makes fumes. So our soldering iron is well hot. You'll hear in a minute. Sizzle, 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 sizzle. Make sure your tip's nice and clean. Put it in the solder, and there you go. And we are going to solder every little bit of this, but we're going to do it piece by piece. The tape is copper foil. It's for stained glass. The tape's about, you can get the tape for $8 or $9 a roll. The solder, you get 1 pound roll of solder, $20 to $25. And don't ever just do this on your kitchen table. You see how the wood, oh, I need my fan. Thankfully, the church, I'm just going to keep blowing this stuff away from me. My mom was a smoker. Therefore, I was a secondhand smoker. I would be coughing, sitting in it, and she would say, smoke draws the beauty. Like that was a good thing. Don't do this. Don't do what I'm doing. Use a fan. My mom, it was, yeah. She didn't start till she was like in her 30s. She had a doctor tell her to start to lose her baby weight that she gained from having kids. Okay. I'm gonna, all of it, oh, no, the back's not soldered. More winter. Yeah, my fan is over. I gotta just go grab my fan. Morton, I don't know why, because it was fully charged. Took it over to put on this charger thing that we have by our bed. Let me get this piece laid down. I'm gonna go grab that fan then, because it's not smart to not have it on. So this is what I'm doing here. And then I'm going to take this and put it back down where it had been. Here. And I'm also going to take this and put this in place. Yep. Let me go get the fan. Oh. When I taught workshops, I had it here. I'll flip this over and you can watch me walk over there to get it. It's over by that arch. I'm not quite, and Morton usually sits here for Stained Glass Sunday, and I didn't tell Morton yet, but I want to move the stained glass area back into the office, and then I want to take the snuggle nest and move it over here and have the stage empty. That's what I want to do. That's what's going to happen. Oh, what the heck? I'm sitting on wood. This little guy makes a difference. So it'll blow the air and the smoke away. Yeah, oh, this, I'll set it over here. And thank you for telling me to go get that. I needed to do it. Yeah, the snuggle nest needs to be over here, I think. And the stage needs to be danceable again. I want to start serious dancing with Morton. Morton doesn't know it yet. But yeah, you'll see now when I start soldering, the smoke will just go the other way. Morton doesn't know it. I want to learn how to properly dance with him. It's going to be a big ask of him, but I think he'll go for it. Down here, flux, flux, flux. And I'll grab my little stick, little solder. I'm going to start building everything into place. Grab this, and you'll see now when I do this. Let me make sure it's blowing towards there. See, it blows it right away from me now. I'm going to put this whole piece right here. I want this to be nice and strong. Perfect. Perfect. I'm going to bring this back here. So I'm going to stick it all the way up there. Okay. Next up is this stuff. This doesn't weigh a pound now because this I've been using for a couple of sessions. But I don't need to breathe that. I like to take a strand off of here because I've been working with glass for 2 decades now like this, and holding that in your wrist the whole time, you will definitely get repercussions from that. So let's put this guy on next. Flux. You're going to lose your mind tomorrow when I show you the Yakagani glass in person. Ooh, I'm excited. And I'm hoping there's not going to be a lot of people there. And I'm hoping that the owner has a minute to make a TikTok with me. I would love that. It's a family-owned business that I absolutely love and love supporting them. If you do stained glass, if you do fused glass 96, support them. They're in Connellsville, Pennsylvania. It's called Yakagani Glass, and they're just wonderful people. Wonderful people. And I'm tilting this a bit on an angle, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to round this off with some bubbles. But first we're going to do all sides of this. And if you find hey, that's not sticking there nicely, take your tip, clean it on your sponge, make it nice and shiny. The mermaid is going in the blue moon window in the tiki room. She's going to cover up. We have an overhang. We have a porch on our west side entrance, and she's going to hide that and look magnificent. Morton's organizing in the kitchen. I tell him I want to switch the little kitchen around. Well, I want to do some cleaning and decorating in there. Not today. I have friends coming over. Hooray, hooray. I love visiting in person too. I love it. And that's what I feel like. You know how they used to say long distance is the next best thing to being there with the telephone? And I feel like our lives with you are the next best thing to visiting in person. But I would much rather visit you in person. I love visiting in person. So I'm just covering all the copper tape with the solder. The solder is a blend. I think this is a 50-40 blend. 50% lead, 40% tin. A lot of the elements of stained glass are dangerous, which is why I always tell people wear gloves, wear gloves. Wear gloves, and I still see people making stained glass on here all the time without gloves on. These are some harsh chemicals. Cat Daddy, how are you? I haven't seen you in forever. Oh my gosh. How you been? And if you find a spot that doesn't stick, it means you need more flux. And this light, it's hard to see what's copper and what's silver. But you're basically, right now, we're turning the copper silver with the flux. That's it. I'm going to put another little dib-dab right there. That's good. That's good. Okay. Now, what I really need to do here is this. I need to lose this piece. And I need to bring this piece down here. Like this. And I need to put this piece over here like this. No. Give me a minute. I gotta work this out. Because this... I gotta set my soldering iron down and work this out. I can't have it join up. You put a solid piece by two cut pieces. That's what I want to do. So I want this piece to go in between this piece, right? So it looks like a Celtic knot has happened. That like this. Yeah. That's how I want that piece going. I think maybe we use this guy, might be better. You gotta let, oh yeah. You gotta let the glass talk to you. You gotta let the glass talk to you. The glass gotta do the work. We got there in the end. This little guy. He's gonna save the day. Ta-da! Ta-da, 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 ta-da. I love making Celtic knots in stained glass. They look super cool and complicated, but they're super duper easy. And you just remember 2 pieces and a solid. Don't ever put 2 pieces and 2 pieces together. It doesn't look right. 2 pieces and a solid. So we're gonna do this now. We're gonna coat this fella. And a lot of people, I think, over solder, like they put too much of this on. It makes your piece super heavy. And this, we'll go back over each and every seam, but all of these pieces don't have to be 1/4 of an inch thick with solder. I can put a nice little rounded bit on this. But we just want all the copper gone. And this is 500 degrees. This is why we wear gloves too. which is my pretty side. That, and that is gonna go together perfectly. And that's gonna be against here. I'm gonna kind of tuck this up and under. Let's put this part in first. Get that part right there nicely. That's great. That'll make a lovely little bendy curve. And this part here sticking out, I'm gonna put a hunk and chunk here, hunk and chunk there. Perfect. Perfect. Now this guy goes on this way. Actually, let's look, because maybe, yeah, it has to be that side. Maybe there. Yeah, there. That's even better. Why are you not laying flat? You got a hump on you? Maybe. Yep. So see, now it looks like that piece is going through there, and we're going to wrap the next piece. We'll make that it's coming up. So like it's over under. Celtic knot is like over under design. We'll do the next part of the Celtic knot the next time. And it's not wanting to stick really good or come off really good here. And that's because we need more flux. When in doubt, add more flux. Always. And now it'll bead up nice and smooth. If you're having a problem getting your solder to bead nice and smooth, see how that hooks? Just put more flux on it. You can make your joints really, really pretty. Just a little flux where it's at. Perfect. And can somebody give me a time check, please? Pretty please. And this, I'll make this bend. Let me bring this down like this away. Oh, we are right at the end, aren't we? Okay. I got 2 more pieces. Let's see if we can sneak them in quick. So this guy here. And remember, we're not doing a pattern, so we're not going to get frustrated and say, wait, I thought you were going to put it there. Nope, doesn't matter. Listen to the glass. Listen to the glass. The glass does all the hard work. Look how beautiful it is. This is some gorgeous, gorgeous glass. We're going to flux it, solder it. Back in the day that I made so many mermaids, I would cut and make mermaid tails by the dozens and dozens and dozens. So I made all their components up. And even though I did it kind of like assembly line style, there was still so much creativity because I had the choices of like bodies and arms and faces and all the elements when I was putting them together. But by already having pieces done, I was able to sit with, this is when I was in Scotland, I had my stained glass bench was where the public could see it. So the public would come in and they could watch me do it. And quite often people would say, oh, can you do a purple mermaid? Can you, whatever. And I could put mermaids together kind of like super fast on the spot for them because I had all these elements done. And I love working that way. I really do love working that way. I often wonder how many people I've gotten into doing stained glass because I love it so much, and I think everybody would love doing it. Did you wrap the glass pieces with copper foil? Yes. This is called the Tiffany style method. and it's the copper foil that you put on. Now I kind of wonder how many people I've talked into buying a church. And are they happy or sad? I think they'd be happy. I'm going to give that one more little whack around of flux. You don't want to keep going over your copper. You don't. You'll, the foil will fall off. That used to happen here in the studio when I teach workshops. People would want to rub that piece. Two things are going to happen. You're going to damage your foil, ruin it, or you're going to break your glass. Because this is a 500 degree tip. So if you're sitting there rubbing that glass with it, you're going to thermal shock your glass will break. And we don't want that. That's the worst noise ever to hear when you're making glass. Crack. It's bad. Okay, so this is the side that I was going to have facing up, but I'm going to flip it over. This side's textured, and it's every bit as pretty, and it fits better here. It fits really good here. So I'm going to take that and come this way to make this piece turn down in where we want it. And our mermaid's not getting done today. And if it's, again, having a problem sticking, hit it with some flux. Go back on it and get that nice ridge that you want. And now that piece that looked like it had been too skinny and that they didn't fit together, now they look like they are perfect size. You can do decorative soldering. You can really do what you want to. I'm making a mermaid window for here in our tiki room. Yeah. And if you want to do decorative soldering, like I could put little dots up on here, little beads of the silver. And I do like to occasionally do this, especially like this is supposed to be seaweed. So I think that will look really cool, the little blobs. But I don't want to do it on all of them. It's like putting accent pieces kind of just where you want them. I'm going to continue those little dots right up here. They fell off the edge. That's okay. Put more flux down. What's the answer to everything? Flux it. Flux, 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 flux. And I'm not going to be able to stay longer because I do have friends coming over. I'm going to clean. This is the important part here. Clean your tip off. Clean your tip off. Make sure it's clear. And then put a brand new little bit of solder on here. Stick it in that solder. And this is kind of like my rule of thumb when I'm doing classes. I drive this home to everybody. When you are done, unplug it and put your plug where you can see it. You'll burn it up if you don't. So last but not least, take your gloves off, take your glasses off, take your apron off, turn your fan off, turn the fan off, turn your phone around. So you can say goodbye to everybody who's been watching. Goodbye, everybody that's been watching. I hope your Sunday is very lovely. And I'll probably come on later. I don't think my friends are staying long, because I have stuff to do in the glass studio with the fusing. So we'll do that later. And I'll show you more. Morton's baking bread, so we'll do the bread bake later too. So bye for now, everybody. And I will put this replay up on our YouTube channel. See you later. Happy Sunday. Happy Groundhog